Okay, today we have the legendary Stella Artois from Belgium. 5% ABV Euro Pale Lager. It's now owned by InBev, Anheuser-Busch, so it's a macro. Really like the sleek, stylish bottle. Very European. Looks like this one has an expiration date of 12/10/17. I don't know whether that means October 12th or whether that means December 10th, 2017. Probably December 10th because I think this is more along the lines of an American beer these days. So definitely have a lot of time to enjoy this, which is good. It says imported by Import Brands Alliance, St. Louis, Missouri. A little bit of a history about Stella Artois. It was first brewed in Leuven, Belgium, in 1926, so it traces its roots back then. But actually, the brewery itself traces its roots way back to 1366. So that's how long the brewery had been around for. The first time you could trace its name to the Artois family was 1708, when Sebastian Artois kind of started the brand of beer. But Stella, somewhat more recent, 1926, as you can see. So they just celebrated their 91st or 90th, or they're celebrating their 91st anniversary, I guess, this year. They have a 4% ABV version, which is sold in Ireland, Canada, and New Zealand, as well as England, Britain. Here in the States, I guess it's 5%, because we like our alcohol a little stronger, I suppose. It's sold in over 80 countries, and you can see it everywhere. A lot of people who are maybe not too knowledgeable about craft beer, think of this as a real fancy kind of rare kind of beer, which it isn't. You can find it basically everywhere. And it's got this, in my opinion, annoying covering coating the bottle cap here. I don't know why the covering has to coat the bottle cap, but we'll peel this one off, open it up, and pour it into this Poco glass, and see what we got from Stella Artois. Apparently there's a perfect pour for Stella Artois, and I'm probably not doing it. Right off the top of the sensation list, I'm getting an aroma, kind of a skunked out aroma, and I don't think this has been. We're in the dead of winter right now, so I don't think this has really been too much affected by sunlight. It may just be the beer in general. I'm hearing a lot of people say the same thing about this beer. Kind of has a skunky smell to it. It does have a kind of an off green color bottle, which is usually okay, better than the clear kind you see from some of the English bottles. But as we see that just very, very see-through kind of lagery pour with a big head on this beer, probably about 4 fingers of a head on this. So even though I kind of got the wafting aroma back here, let's get the closer aroma. Yeah, very kind of corn smell. Less of a skunk smell as I'm smelling it in here. It's more of the grains, I think, that are more prevalent. It smells a little more malty than your American adjuncts. A little fresher ingredients than that, so a little bit of a higher step, I would say. But let's get the taste now of Stella Artois. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting. There's really zero aftertaste on this. Very watery, watered down kind of taste to this beer. Nothing really unpleasant in the taste, but really not much going on either. I mean, it really doesn't have a harsh taste. Doesn't really have one of those kind of backbone tastes, chewy kind of taste to it at all. It just has a very watered down taste with a little bit of grain and hops in the back of the throat and no aftertaste. So it doesn't have an unpleasant aftertaste. It doesn't have an unpleasant taste either. It's just there's not much there. And it's kind of hard to believe for me that this is 5% ABV. So kind of a bland, not really memorable beer to write home about. The only memorable part about it is the name, the bottle look to it, and I guess that perfect pour thing that they always do with the razor-looking thing that cuts off the head of the beer. I'm going to go ahead and give Stella Artois a 6.5 out of 10 for a Euro Pale Lager. It does its job. It really isn't much to write home about, and I can't really classify it as a lawnmower beer because it's a little more pricey than the beers in that category. But if you want to kind of impress people that don't know much about beer and look like you know what you're doing, this is the beer for you. So 6.5 out of 10 for Stella Artois.